welcome back. I'm so glad you returned. It's been well over a month now since my last video. In fact, it's the beginning of a whole new year. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for my absence. You see, this small community, it actually means quite a lot to me. And I needed to take some time to step back and figure some things out about myself. And I hope y'all can understand. You see, I spent the past 7 to 8 years honing in on all my passions, making sure I was more than proficient in everything I set my mind to. I would go above and beyond with everything I did. There was a clear goal in my head, and supposedly every step to achieve that goal, it was methodically thought out and planned to a T, and boy was I wrong. I knew who I needed to work with, why I needed to work with them, and even knew what would happen as a result, until that goal came, and passed. I'd like to paint a picture for you so I can make it a little bit more clear and get a little bit more personal. We can really get to know each other. I like to edit. I like to draw. Anything creative, I love it. So I'm at a point in my career where I have over 400 to 500 edits and fuck the numbers. So many drawings, and none of it brought me true fame. None of it brought me notoriety. None of it brought me anything. And it's so defeating. You gotta have an ability to push past that. Most creators ain't gonna tell you that how many failures they got. I failed thousands. I'm not joking with you, bro. Thousands of times. Projects that will never see the light of day. Projects that got posted for 5 minutes and then got took down because I was too self-conscious or I was anxious or etc. etc. But I thought you should know, since those people ain't gonna tell you. Somebody got to be honest with you, you know what I mean? I partially achieved what I sought after, in the beginning of my journey. Afterwards, I found myself feeling quite empty and underwhelmed, like it wasn't enough, you know what I mean? And that moment shattered every preconceived notion I made for myself instantly. It sent me spiraling for answers or some type of guidance. Every piece of advice that was given, it all felt shallow. People were simply tossing famous quotes around or phrases that sounded pleasing to the ear. None of it stuck. None of it had any meaning or any value I could use to it. The things I once held dear and thought were major parts of myself, they became unrecognizable and distant. I didn't want it anymore. I started to question myself, were those things I enjoyed and liked, or was it someone else's influence coming into play? You see, this all led me to one simple yet complex question. Bro, who am I? You know what I mean? How does one define self? In a dictionary, self-definition. A person's essential being that distinguishes them from others, especially considered as the object of introspection, reflexive action. I didn't find that answer to be enough. I needed to know. Are you the brain? Are you the body? Are you just a cluster of neurons firing at a rapid rate? I thought I'd get a little personal for a second. Maybe through this moment we can, we can relate a little bit more, get to know each other. You see, long story short, every relationship this past year, it all failed, man. Honestly, it all failed, or either I was used or ghosted, left by the wayside. You get the picture. I like to do videography, so I hit up 3 major women thinking that this will help my career. It didn't. In fact, it crushed me to my core. I got built up and let down, and I didn't want to tell anybody, so honestly, bro, I lied. I feel shitty now I'm thinking back on it, because that ain't even the type of person I am. I sugarcoated things to make it seem better than it was. Then it hit me. I never wanted them for them or even a relationship. I just wanted what they could offer me. I wanted to experience what they experienced. I wanted to feel special. I wanted to feel like somebody, instead of feeling stuck day in and day out. I then came to the assumption that I never needed them. My skill level was good enough on my own. I knew what I needed to do. But now I feel lost, empty, autopilot, you know what I mean? Just going through it. And what I mean by going through it is it's going from day to day. I got so caught up in the numbers and everything and wanting to be accepted. And after all that failed, I took it as a lesson. And when you're alone, who are you then? What do you listen to? You know what I mean? How do you dance? Do you watch? How long do you watch it? When the mask comes off and you stop faking in front of everybody, you simply you. When your muscles relax, who is that person? You know, I'm starting to think I'm a bit of everything and everyone, honestly. So many people had a hand in shaping and molding me into the person I am today. That's what makes it difficult to discover who I truly am. Because everything I do, I kind of feel like somebody else, or I'm trying to, please them. That probably ain't even the word, but fuck it, you get what I mean. Discovering who I am, I have no clue where I want to live or what I want to do career-wise. I do know, though, one thing that brings me joy is being creative. The ability to start something when there's nothing there and then come out of the other side with a fully fleshed out idea that always amazed me. And I love helping people. Maybe it don't gotta be with money. Maybe I can give you some advice, even though I ain't the best at it. But to see somebody else thriving, that always makes me happy. I tend to help people a little bit too much sometimes. That being said, though, I want this channel to be a place where those two things can flourish freely. We can all learn from each other and help each other without being judged or without the shame of being judged. I'm willing to put my all into this, even if it takes years to grow. Even if it takes years to grow this community into what I envision to be. I feel like this is my new journey. Maybe along the way I'll discover myself. Truthfully, I don't see myself being anything else. It's crazy because you're supposed to have everything figured out. At the age that I am, I don't got shit figured out. But back to the topic at hand, usually when I watch movies, I really love movies, really love horror movies. That's a side note, but still. Or documentaries, there's a clear ending, that wrap up a whole conclusion or a cliffhanger, either or. Unfortunately with this, bro, this isn't one of those programs. There is no conclusion. Not one that I figured out yet. Yet I can say this. I hope you come along with me for the ride. Make sure you subscribe for the vibe. And until next time, peace and love, man.